Wreck.
We're back.
Special thanks to Dexmonicus for the follow.
Thank you, Dexmonicus.
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi, the whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure it out. Somehow I have to find the truth. The spotless hammer. Could that be the murder weapon?
No!
What was
Nah.
It's the Thinker.
Yeah, it's obviously the Thinker.
Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4.
Well,
Maybe
whatever
Justice
it
Hammer
is,
5!
There's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Yeah,
Check
called
out
it.
murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers. And
Yeah, probably this one.
that's about it.
Huh?
Probably that last one, huh?
Probably.
Had to be one of the Justice Hammers, and we'd be like, no!
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice
I mean,
Hammer
or unless it's
3?
this one.
Maybe
You say,
Justice
what was
Hammer
used to kill
4.
Hifumi, and it was the spotless hammer.
Whatever
That
it
makes
was,
sense.
there's one. How was
One of
the
those two.
culprit- How did nobody?
Sounds like a Justice Check out
Aw.
murdergear.com/.
Well, one thing seems
Not a real
pretty
website.
clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No,
Fuck you! You had your one good idea for the game, hero.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely
It was an
different.
unjustice hammer.
But seriously? A different weapon?
That's true, Dexmonicus.
Specifically, a hammer.
It's gotta be a
from the
contradiction.
repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed
It's not Ace
clean.
Attorney where it can be a contradiction or presenting evidence.
What?
And the reason
What?
it had been scrubbed
A clean
was
hammer?
most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
if that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Oh, I'm not sure why this didn't occur to me before, but also, the motive this time was money, and she's a gambler.
Yeah.
So, that fits.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Okay, so as far as I can tell, you gotta memory bullet 2 murders and shoot impossible.
You really say there's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one
So you
who
think
actually
memory bullet, the
assuming
last
rule
thing?
holds true.
That is.
But that only really in this case, however, there were two murders.
Yo, I don't think you memory bulleted it.
I
think it was slightly too late.
Only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true. It is
That is. But that only really in this case, however, there were two murders.
based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive, assuming the rule holds true.
Kabloom.
Kabam!
Kabloomers.
Objection! Take that!
Direct hit. Break.
Break!
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
Benefit?
Together.
I don't know what that means.
That mean?
Scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk,
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very
Hifumi got
beginning.
played.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Not if he was into them.
Not if he was a horny boy.
The effort made to convince us the 2 murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning.
Didn't tell anyone.
But didn't
She's
tell anyone.
Got fucking problems.
Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at
I
this.
understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case is unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Finally gonna...
It's
select-
me!
It's me! It's Sayaka.
It's Sayaka.
It's Sakura.
Gotcha, Sakura.
It's Hiro. It was actually
Hiro.
It was you!
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
What happened to your
Whoa,
accent?
hey.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
Hifumi literally loved being your slave.
Yeah.
Certain behavior that was common only to the 2 of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the 2 of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? The screaming.
Encountering a specific individual.
I'm pretty sure it's the screaming.
Oh, you're right. It's a scream.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Fuck you!
Sorry. As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits,
You gotta take that, Makoto.
suspect what Celeste
You've
has
been
said
doing
as well.
all the legwork here.
You saying
They've just been
everything they
sitting
told
there
us was a
smugly.
lie?
Folding their arms and saying,
I knew that all
yes,
along.
I
Yeah.
After
knew.
taking Hifumi
I
to the
too
nurse's
also knew.
office,
You know
all
what?
began our
Kyoko
search for
and
this
Byakuya don't know shit. They all
Yeah.
just wait for us to figure it out. I was like, yes.
I'm pretty-
Just as I figured it out earlier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just faking this.
And not too long after
If I know
that,
anything from
we
Ace
were
Attorney,
told
it's
what
your mentor
Celeste said.
characters. When you actually play as them in their flashbacks, turns out they don't actually know what they're doing either.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
I notice how Byakuya doesn't explain anything until we put the stuff together, and then he's like, ah, yes!
I knew this all along.
And then he just extrapolates on what we said. It's like that annoying kid in class that then when it's their turn to talk, they just say what the last person said, but longer.
He's like that fucking comedy guy in like fucking sitcoms where like a character will be like, oh, why don't we do this? And the other guy will be like, yes, let's do this. Glad I thought of it.
it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Yeah, he did specifically say it sounded weird.
Yeah.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you.
She poisoned the donuts!
Sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your...
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys did.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Which really was inappropriate. We should have probably said something, my bad guys.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. although I
Oh,
don't really
hero.
get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to?
What do you mean? What is he alluding to? We just explained it!
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I used this.
I guess.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
So strange.
So strange.
That's so strange.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die.
Next one.
We are going to die, just like those.
No, it's wrong.
I mean, that's actually not wrong. That is what you said. But
Take that.
it doesn't make sense.
That's right. There's no
I thought you
reason
just said that was wrong,
Celeste should have
Makoto.
said, just like
Make up
those
your
guys
mind,
died.
Makoto.
Makoto, this
When she
isn't a
said
consistent
that,
logical
none of
argument
us had told
anymore.
her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging
It's
Hifumi away?
a picture. I don't know. You just leaned to the fucking costume on Hifumi.
And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other.
Oh, dang. Oh,
Nah.
shoot. Back at square one, I guess.
She got us. Other explanations? We just have to turn around our way of thinking. A turnabout! If it wasn't the picture of the suspect driving Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi and the suspect have been drinking. They're dancing. They're just dancing. Aw.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Poker face. Gotcha.
The one
That's your
being
tell.
dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible?
Make your argument.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
But it can't bend over.
Idiot is the culprit after all.
No way!
Oh yeah.
So it has to be standing up straight.
Yeah.
Thanks, Makoto.
Makoto, come on.
Suit after I passed out.
Then you just draped me across. You tried to make me look
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly if the person inside the suit was unconscious. There's no way they
Get
could
it.
stand up straight like that.
No, what's wrong?
Iggy
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
We went over this already, you guys.
You can't bend at the waist. Look at Hina again. Her goofing around in that suit. Her goofing around in that dang suit has been critical to the progress of this case.
That was a mistake.
Thank you for those good goofs, Hina.
From the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Donuts.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
No, we have to have a battle. We have to have a dance battle.
Technically, we already had that.
What do you mean, checkmate?
What happened to your poker face?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Who tried to kill you?
That's right, it was Yasuhiro. Case closed.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote,
Wow, Greta.
Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Kagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back.
Celeste
to
isn't
how
her real
Hifumi used
name.
to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Gave everyone nicknames, he said everyone's last names, he said for serious a lot.
Who?
Hifumi?
You
Oh yeah, he did refer to everyone by their last name, right?
Yeah.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone.
Is Celeste's real name, last name, the same as Hiro's first name?
That's hilarious.
Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
But why would she tell Hifumi what her real name is?
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh
Also, even if
or
she did,
spit.
that's really confusing by Hifumi.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well,
You're about to look like a loser when we put you in jail.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
She could just lie to us right now, though.
It's
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. So then, we have to do something to make us accept it.
dance battle. Make your argument. E-hand.
Oh yeah, her e-handbook should tell us her name.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only
It would
truth
be
there
that one.
is,
Yeah,
moron!
probably that one.
Also, we could just point out her accent.
Kind of goes in and out of a few accents at a time.
There's one person it would have to be.
I just have a bad voice actor.
Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, that's the only truth there is.
I want to do a little bit of bullet time.
Yeah.
That puppy.
He wanted us to know the killer. If there's one person,
It would have to be you, Celeste.
how many times? Celestia Ludenberg! God damn!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, it's wrong.
Break!
Break!
That's it. The handbook.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
A handbook is vital. You should keep it everywhere. It's great. I wish I had
So all
one.
we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
No, you have to make a comic about it.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up because
Because
Because of the wonderful things he does.
until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning.
Time for a
and
comic.
shed light on
Time for a
all
comic
that
right
and
after this
everything to an
commercial
end.
messages.